Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you are all doing well and safe. Well, today we are gonna talk about international student return plan and Australian state by state border updates. So let's start our video. International student in Australia need a return plan now. Australian university revenue fell 6% in 2020 according to recent findings. Universities Australia Chief Executive Katrina Jackson warned further delay to reopen Australia border past 2021 will have consequences. Universities and other providers as well as national prosperity over multiple years. Mitchell Institute Dr. Peter Hurley believed this show how much Australian universities need international students. Australian universities will recover pretty quickly if international students are able to enroll. But the downturn will continue for longer as international borders remain closed in Australia. They also said 1.5 lakh student visa holders outside the country and waiting for the border reopening. And Australian international student enrollment peak in semester 2, which is July to November in Australia. The situation remains that as current international students complete, there are not new students to take their place. Now let's talk about Australian border updates, a state by state breakdown for students. Australia race to vaccination has led to more queries about Australian border for international students. Under the country's four-phase plan out of pandemic, Australian border could gradually reopen once 80% of adults have been fully vaccinated, while lockdown restriction would be eased when 70% of population is vaccinated. Some states have hinted that they would like to reopen borders sooner than others. Also, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said that national plan allows states to start international travel again. Let's talk about New South Wales. Last week, New South Wales Premier Gladys said that she will ease restriction and attempt to resume international travel when vaccine targets are met. In Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews said Victoria will begin to ease restriction once 70% of eligible Victorians have received at least one dose of COVID vaccine. In Australian Capital Territory, Chief Minister Andrew Barr is looking at higher than 70% vaccination rate before he reopens the territory. He hopes that when Australia hit 80%, ACT residents will be 90% vaccinated. In Western Australia Premier Mark McGowan said he sees no reason to rush the reopening of Western Australia border. Even when vaccination rates passed 80%, it's possible that the state would only reopen early next year. McGowan said his goal was for his state to reach full vaccination level of 80 to 90% before he had set a date for state reopening. So New South Wales and Victoria Premier agreed to open their border on 70% vaccine rate. So hope for the best. Please like, subscribe and share.